The bench and the badge. The marble columns of the Charleston Federal Courthouse stood sentinel beneath a sunless sky. The morning light struggled to break through, as if even nature hesitated to witness the reckoning unfolding within. Inside, Courtroom 2B pulsed with an electricity that had nothing to do with anticipation and everything to do with tension. Staffers who had no business being there found excuses to stay. Reporters filled every seat, notebooks perched on knees and phones muted but ready. Bailiffs stood rigid, eyes flicking toward the defendant's table like seasoned warriors watching a powder keg. The man sitting there, Officer Jackson Rayner, leaned back in his chair, legs spread arrogantly, his arms folded as though he were still behind the wheel of a cruiser. His suit didn't quite fit, tight around the shoulders, sleeves ending just shy of the wrist like something hastily borrowed. His lawyer whispered urgently in his ear. "You need to keep your mouth shut today," the attorney said, voice low and taut. "No outbursts. No snide remarks. Let me handle this." Jackson snorted. "Funny. You're acting like I'm the one on trial." "You are on trial," the lawyer hissed. "And if you open that mouth one more time, you'll kill your only shot at staying out of prison." Jackson rolled his eyes and tilted his head toward the bench. "If she was a real judge, we wouldn't be in this circus to begin with." "She is a federal judge," the lawyer snapped. "And the more you disrespect her, the more you hand her the rope she'll hang you with." At that moment, the chamber doors opened and the room stilled. Judge Alana Rodas entered without ceremony. Her robe hung over her shoulders with deliberate weight, her heels clicking in a rhythm not of vanity, but of defiance, the kind of measured poise that said, "I'm not here to prove anything. I already did." She made no eye contact with Jackson. She didn't have to. The bailiff called the court to order. "Good morning," Judge Rodas began. "We'll resume with testimony from yesterday. Is the witness ready?" The prosecutor stood, gesturing for the forensic analyst to take the stand. The analyst, a composed woman in a navy suit, raised her right hand, swore in, and began unpacking a mountain of data that unraveled Jackson's official report line by line. Radio logs, GPS timestamps, dispatch inconsistencies. The picture she painted was damning. Jackson whispered under his breath, but not so quietly that the front row couldn't hear. "Lies. All of it." The judge's gaze drifted down toward him, controlled and steady. "Mr. Rayner," she said, "you will remain silent during testimony." He leaned forward, bitterness threading his voice. "With all due respect, Your Honor, how am I supposed to sit here while this farce unfolds?" "You're here to listen," she replied coolly. "Your counsel will have time to cross-examine." Jackson smirked. "As if that'll matter." A bailiff stepped forward, sensing the rising temperature. Judge Rodas held up her hand, not toward Jackson, but toward the officer. "Not yet." The prosecutor continued. "Recovered dashcam footage. Audio gobs. The body cam feed portions of it missing or suspiciously silent." The analyst explained the tampering in detail. Jackson's jaw clenched. "She's guessing," he barked. "She wasn't there." Judge Rodas leaned in slightly, her voice now edged in steel. "Mr. Rayner, I will not tell you again. One more interruption and you'll be removed." He stilled, outwardly at least, but his eyes locked on hers, not with reverence, but with the barely masked challenge of a man who had never been told no by someone like her. Judge Rodas recognized it. She had seen that kind of stillness before. Not the peaceful kind, the kind that came before detonation. "We'll take a 10-minute recess," she said. As the courtroom emptied, she remained seated. Jackson hadn't moved. He stared at her with the smile of someone who believed the outcome had already been written. She rose and exited to chambers, but her mind was already preparing. Not because she was afraid, because she understood men like Jackson Rayner and what they did when the rules no longer protected them. When court reconvened, the tension was thicker. Jackson sat still, but his fingers twitched against the table. His lawyer leaned in. "You will answer only what is asked. Let me guide this." Jackson scoffed. "She thinks she's clever." "She is," the lawyer replied. "And if you keep pushing, she'll bury you." The cross-examination began, sharp and methodical. The defense tried to poke holes in the analyst's timeline, question her credentials, suggest procedural error. But the analyst was calm, precise a rock amidst shifting tides. Jackson didn't like it. He muttered, shifted, laughed dryly when she mentioned the missing body cam segments. Judge Rodas cut in. Mr. Rayner, this is your final warning. I'm not interrupting. I am reacting. One more remark, and you will be removed. His arms folded. A grin flickered across his face like a pilot light catching gas. The next witness, a sergeant, took the stand. Sergeant Victor Monroe. I filed a complaint in 2019, he said, about excessive force and about tampered footage. Nothing happened. The investigator resigned 2 years later. Jackson shook his head. This is garbage, he muttered. Mr. Rayner, the judge said. No, come on, this is a joke. That man hated me. Everyone knew it. Mr. Rayner, you are out of order. Jackson stood. The gallery gasped. You want to talk bias? He shouted. Let's talk about yours, your honor. Every move you've made has one goal, take down the white cop who doesn't kneel. Mr. Rayner, you wear that robe like armor, but you're just as biased as anyone else. Sit down. He took a step forward. The bailiffs moved. Don't you dare, he barked, turning to them. You stay out of this. Judge Rodas remained still. Then she saw the hand slipping inside his jacket. She didn't speak. Not yet, because she knew what was coming before it happened. A sound, subtle, the soft click of metal on leather. Jackson's hand came out with a matte black pistol. Small, heavy, deliberate. Gasps. Screams stifled by instinct. Phones dropped. Chairs scraped. Don't move, Jackson said. The gun pointed directly at the bench. Judge Rodas didn't flinch. You brought a gun into my courtroom, she said. I brought the truth. You think this is strength? She asked. You think I won't use it? I think you already did, she said. The moment you pointed it. The bailiffs froze. So what was mobilizing outside? Unseen but coming. You think I lost my job because I was crooked? He yelled. No, I lost it because of people like you. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't plead. You lost it because you were never supposed to wear the badge. Shut up. This isn't power, she said. This is collapse. His gun trembled. His stance wavered. You really think you can break me with words? I don't need to, she said. You already broke yourself. SWAT moved into position behind both doors. You think you win now? He spat. This fixes nothing. This isn't about winning, she replied. This is about ending what never should have started. He raised the gun higher. He fired. The sound tore through the chamber like thunder cracking stone. The bullet struck the mahogany just inches right her chest. She didn't move. A whisper of smoke curled from the bench. I'm fine, she said. SWAT breached. Jackson was tackled, disarmed, pinned, cuffed. The weapon skidded across the floor. The trial of Officer Jackson Rayner was over. But the reckoning had only just begun.